Next we come to Paul the Venetian, the Lord of the Third Ray. Paul the Venetian served on Atlantis, as probably most of you have done in some capacity, not unlike the job you're holding today. He was head of cultural affairs. He established a focus of the flame of liberty, which is another name for the threefold flame, in Peru, that is in the days of Atlantis. And this flame, which he anchored in Peru so long ago, gave impetus to the culture, beauty, and wealth of the Incan civilization. He reincarnated later in that Incan empire as an artist who used paints that did not fade. So Paul the Venetian takes the love ray and applies it to art and culture. He became in Egypt a master of esoteric architecture. He worked with El Moria, then a master mason at the time of the building of the pyramids. We know him recently as the Italian Renaissance painter Paulo Veneziano, 1528 to 1588. This is his self-portrait. He called it the portrait of a man. Paulo revitalized art with innovation in color, bringing forward what he studied and perfected on Atlantis, what he used in Peru. Unlike the grim medieval art, his paintings treated religious personages with a simple familiarity that put them in reach of the common people. His portrayal of the saints as real people made holiness a goal towards which more might aspire. He teaches us then the mastery of the heart chakra. The 12 petals of the heart are the 12 gates to the city four square. They are the signs of the zodiac, the 12 paths under which you can be born, and in successive lifetimes you come under those 12 solar hierarchies for the development of different attributes and the meeting of different initiations. This is one picture we have of the threefold flame, and I'd like to show you the other one while we are treating Paul, which is larger against the dark background. Leaving Atlantis, Paul established a retreat in what is now southern France. He called it his Castle of Liberty, the Chateau de Liberté, and this castle on the Rhone River is similar to it, which will be coming up after you see this threefold flame. He currently holds his classes in the Universities of the Spirit in a retreat over Manhattan that is called the Temple of the Sun. This statue is actually a focus of a cosmic being who is known as Mother Liberty, who embodies the flame of liberty for America and for the world. And this Divine Mother of Liberty is actually the cosmic mother of Paul the Venetian, but she does initiate all of those who come to these shores. It does explain why people are so excited when they come and see the Statue of Liberty, and why so much hoopla was made the last 4th of July for more than a statue, but a sense of the presence of the Divine Mother who unites and unifies us all despite our religious leanings. So this is where Paul the Venetian draws you when you go to study at night. And it is a wonderful place to study because this was once a temple on Atlantis, having the focus of the 12 gates and the 12 solar hierarchies. There is a liberty flame, or a threefold flame, anchored in the etheric octave above the Washington Monument. Paul helps us with the discerning of spirits, and he uses the gemstones ruby, diamond, garnet, rose quartz, and pink beryl. Rose quartz is a pink variety of quartz. Here you see the ancient Chinese art of sculpting the Mother of Mercy, Kuan Yin, in rose quartz. This particular type of crystal, so Paul the Venetian tells us, is for the development of those softening qualities of love, tenderness and compassion, tolerance and forbearance and mercy. It is also used to develop the qualities of the Holy Spirit, discernment of spirits, the discrimination of our Christ mind, so we know the real from the unreal and good and evil, and the faculties of the soul, which are delicate, sensitive appreciation for nuance of vibration or nuance in poetry, art, or in all areas of service. The quartz we have is again charged by Paul the Venetian. Now the rubies we have are a Chatham Ruby. Chatham is someone who invented in the recent years a means of taking crystals of ruby, of sapphire, of emerald, putting them in a tray of a certain chemical, and these crystals will grow. And in a period of 9 months, for instance, these crystals of ruby grew. They are exactly identical to the molecular structure of a real ruby, so they suit our purposes. So we can have access to them because they are far less expensive. In the Hindu tradition, and this is certainly accurate, the ruby is used for strengthening the heart and blood circulation. It makes one bold and courageous. It removes sadness and sensuality. The ruby is so strong that you should test it when wearing it and watch yourself and see whether or not the strength of the ruby is so powerful that it goes too far and you find yourself becoming either angry or irritated. So you have to test stones and see how they feel, and know that you do wear different stones at different times, different days of the week. Depending how you feel, you know you want to put on a certain stone for what you feel it's going to add to your experience. Ayurveda says that it aids concentration, gives mental power, helps one experience the subtle effects of energy. It does focus the ruby ray, and it does definitely make us tune in to the path of the secret rays and that intense love which goes beyond the pink to the ruby color. We use the ruby for the path of the ruby ray, which is the path of the Sacred Heart of Jesus. The prophecy of the lion, the calf, the man, and the flying eagle gives to us a path of sacrifice, service, surrender, and selflessness. Both the ruby and the garnet are used as focuses for the Sacred Heart of Jesus and the blood of Christ. And the pink beryl has qualities of rose quartz. This is a quote from Paul the Venetian. He says, "Unfortunately, due to the educational systems of the world and the equation of certain mass concepts and certain omissions of concepts that ought to be taught from childhood, mankind have a misunderstanding of native genius, and they are not taught of the talents of the Lord given to each one, nor are they taught how to release those talents and those flames of their innate God reality. People feel a sense of worthlessness, and that only the few have the ability to invent and to create. But I am here to tell you that locked in the heart of every one of you is a unique idea of love that you can bring forth for the benefit of your fellow man and the progress of the culture of the Divine Mother on earth. It may be an invention, it may be a poem, it may be a geometric design, but it is a gift which only you can bring forth. Unfortunately, many of you have held that gift in your heart for a succession of embodiments, simply because no one has told you that you could release it, that you could bring it forth, that you are beings of ultimate creativity."
The preceding lecture was given by Elizabeth Clare Prophet, world-renowned author and spiritual teacher. The Summit Lighthouse is an international spiritual organization dedicated to universal enlightenment. Founded in 1958, the Summit Lighthouse has been a beacon of truth to thousands worldwide and a leader in New Thought spirituality. The preceding program has been brought to you by the Summit Lighthouse. For more information, call 1-800-245-5445 or visit our website at www.tsl.org. Outside the USA, call 406-848-9500 or write to the Summit Lighthouse, 63 Summit Way, Gardner, Montana, 59030, USA.